In the darkest days of World War II, America was desperate. The war wasn't going well, and military strategists were searching for any possible advantage. Enter a project so strange, so unbelievable, that it sounds like something from a comic book. But this was real. This was the bat bomb. It started with a dentist named Lytle Sedums. While on vacation in New Mexico in 1941, he watched thousands of bats emerge from Carlsbad caverns at sunset. In that moment, an absolutely crazy idea was born. Adams wondered, what if these small, agile creatures could be turned into tiny airborne weapons? After the attack on Pearl Harbor, Adams wrote directly to the White House. His bizarre proposal would actually catch the attention of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The military was looking for creative ways to strike at the Japanese homeland. Traditional bombing raids were difficult and dangerous. American long-range bombers struggled to reach Japanese cities, and losses were high, but bats could be different. The plan was audacious. Attach tiny incendiary devices to thousands of Mexican free-tailed bats, release them from bombers over Japanese cities. When the bats roosted in buildings, the tiny bombs would detonate, creating hundreds of simultaneous fires. Project X-ray, as it was called, was led by a team at the Army Air Forces Research Center in California. They worked in absolute secrecy, testing and refining their unusual weapon. The technical challenges were immense. How do you transport thousands of live bats? How do you keep them alive? How do you ensure they'll actually carry their tiny bombs to the right locations? Each bat would carry a small incendiary device weighing about 17-23 grams. The bombs were designed to ignite approximately 30 minutes after release, giving the bats time to find hidden roosting spots inside buildings. Thousands of bats were captured, carefully studied, and trained. Specialized tiny bomb harnesses were designed. Entire research facilities were dedicated to this project that most people would have considered insane. Testing proved surprisingly successful. During one experiment, bats carrying dummy incendiary devices accidentally burned down a military research base in New Mexico. The project leaders saw this as a promising sign. By 1943, the project had cost nearly $2 million, an enormous sum at the time. The military had developed specialized bomb racks, conducted hundreds of test flights, and trained thousands of bats. But time was running out. The Manhattan Project developing the atomic bomb was absorbing more and more military research resources. Project X-ray was competing for funding and attention. Eventually the bat bomb project was cancelled. Military leaders decided the atomic bomb was a more straightforward solution to ending the war quickly. Decades later, the bat bomb remains one of the strangest weapons ever seriously considered by the United States military. Proof of wartime innovation, desperation, and human creativity. Subscribe for more strange history stories. But Project X-ray was far more than just a wild military experiment. The bat bomb's development involved some of the most brilliant minds of the era. His expertise in combustible materials made him crucial to the project's potential success. Thomas C. Gupton, a zoologist from the University of California, became the primary bat expert. He studied Mexican free-tailed bat behavior carefully, understanding their flight patterns, roosting habits, and physiological capabilities. Gupton believed these bats were uniquely suited for the mission: lightweight, capable of carrying substantial weight, and able to navigate complex urban environments. The bats selected were specifically chosen for their remarkable characteristics. They could squeeze into tiny spaces, making them perfect for infiltrating dense urban structures in Japanese cities. The technical specifications of the bat bomb were very sophisticated. Each bat would carry a small incendiary device weighing approximately 17-23 grams, designed with a sophisticated time delay mechanism. The bombs would be attached using custom-designed miniature harnesses that distributed weight evenly and allowed comfortable flight. Extensive training protocols were developed. Researchers created specialized chambers where bats were conditioned to carry weight, navigate simulated urban environments, and remain calm during transportation. They studied bat metabolism, ensuring the creatures could survive long flights and maintain energy levels necessary for their mission. The military's interest wasn't purely theoretical. Intelligence reports suggested Japanese cities were predominantly constructed of wood and paper, making them exceptionally vulnerable to fire-based attacks. A coordinated bat bomb assault could potentially cause catastrophic damage with minimal direct human involvement. Interestingly, the project attracted attention from unexpected quarters. Some scientists saw it not just as a weapon, but as a groundbreaking exploration of animal behavior and potential military applications. The idea of using animals as sophisticated delivery mechanisms was revolutionary. Comprehensive testing involved multiple stages. Initial experiments used dummy devices to understand bat behavior. Researchers discovered that bats could potentially carry devices weighing up to 25–30 grams without significant flight impairment. This was crucial for mission feasibility. The psychological warfare potential was also intriguing. Beyond physical destruction, bat bombs could create widespread panic. Imagine hundreds of bats suddenly emerging in city centers, carrying mysterious devices. The potential terror factor was significant. Project leaders maintained meticulous documentation. Detailed logs tracked each bat's performance, weight carrying capacity, flight duration, and potential roosting behaviors. As the project progressed, competing military research initiatives began eyeing the bat bomb concept. Some saw it as a potentially game-changing approach to urban warfare. Others remained skeptical, viewing it as an elaborate scientific curiosity. The financial investment was substantial. By 1943, nearly $2 million had been spent, equivalent to approximately $32 million in today's currency. This represented a significant commitment to what many would have considered an outlandish concept. Behind the scenes, complex logistical challenges emerged. How would thousands of bats be transported? How could they be kept alive during long flights? What environmental factors might compromise their mission? Each question required sophisticated scientific investigation. Specialized equipment was developed. Custom containers maintained precise temperature and humidity levels. Researchers created miniature life support systems that could keep bats alive and stable during extended missions. These innovations went far beyond the immediate military application. When traditional methods seemed insufficient, researchers were willing to explore radical, unconventional solutions. The bat bomb embodied this spirit of innovation. Zoologists worked alongside munitions experts, entomologists studied bat physiology, and aviation engineers designed specialized deployment mechanisms. Louis Fieser, a prominent chemist from Harvard University, became particularly intrigued by the technical challenges. His expertise in incendiary devices proved critical in developing miniaturized explosive packages that could be safely attached to bats. Traditional bomb designs were too heavy and cumbersome, but Fieser's innovative approach created ultra-lightweight incendiary units weighing mere grams. Military strategists recognized the potential for asymmetrical warfare. Conventional bombing required massive aircraft formations, expensive fuel, and significant personnel risks. Bat bombs represented a really different approach: distributed, decentralized, and potentially more unpredictable. Each bat could essentially become a precision delivery mechanism, capable of penetrating urban environments with minimal detection. Breeding programs became a critical component of the research. Researchers needed stable bat populations with consistent flight characteristics. They focused primarily on Mexican free-tailed bats, known for their remarkable endurance and adaptability. Specialized breeding facilities were constructed to maintain genetic diversity and optimize physiological traits suitable for military deployment. Psychological evaluations of bat behavior revealed fascinating insights. Their echolocation skills meant they could potentially identify and target structures with remarkable precision. This biological guidance system represented a technological breakthrough that mechanical guidance systems of the era could not match. Temperature regulation emerged as a critical research challenge. Bats are sensitive creatures with narrow survival parameters. Research teams developed specialized thermal management systems that could maintain optimal physiological conditions during transportation and mission preparation. Insulated containers with precise climate control became a technological marvel, demonstrating the project's sophisticated engineering approach. Diplomatic considerations added another layer of complexity. The bat bomb concept existed in a legal and ethical gray area. International conventions about warfare did not explicitly address animal-based weapons systems. Military lawyers and diplomats engaged in extensive discussions about the potential legal ramifications of deploying such an unconventional weapon. Training protocols became increasingly sophisticated. Researchers developed methods to condition bats for specific mission parameters. This involved creating simulated urban environments where bats could practice navigation, payload attachment, and precise release mechanisms. Each training iteration revealed new insights into animal behavior and weapon deployment strategies. Chemical engineers contributed critical expertise in developing incendiary packages. The goal was to create a device small enough for bat transportation, but powerful enough to cause significant structural damage. Specialized phosphorus-based compounds were developed that could ignite upon impact, creating localized but intense fire sources. Strategic simulations provided crucial data. Military planners ran complex computational models analyzing potential bat bomb deployment scenarios. These simulations considered variables like wind patterns, urban architectural layouts, bat flight characteristics, and potential mission success rates. Early models suggested remarkable potential effectiveness, with some scenarios projecting damage levels comparable to traditional bombing raids. The technological innovations spawned by the Bat Bomb project extended far beyond military applications. Research into bat physiology, thermal regulation, and navigation systems provided groundbreaking insights for multiple scientific disciplines. International intelligence agencies monitored the project with intense curiosity. German and Japanese military attachés sought information about the American research, recognizing its potential strategic implications. Each successful test brought the project closer to potential deployment. Researchers carefully documented every experimental phase, creating comprehensive reports that would become historical artifacts of wartime scientific exploration. By late 1944, project feasibility became the central question. President Roosevelt received a classified briefing detailing the Bat Bomb's potential operational capabilities. Initial White House reactions ranged from skepticism to cautious intrigue. Louis Pfizer, the Harvard chemist leading chemical development, presented strong evidence of the weapon's unconventional effectiveness. Field testing moved from controlled laboratory environments to actual combat simulation scenarios. The Carlsbad Army Airfield in New Mexico became the primary experimental site, with specialized facilities constructed to support bat bomb research. Technical teams worked around the clock, refining every aspect of the deployment mechanism. Major William Donovan, head of the Office of Strategic Services, became a key advocate for the project. He recognized that unconventional warfare strategies could potentially alter combat dynamics. The bat bomb represented more than a weapon. It was a radical reimagining of military technology. Cost analysis revealed surprising economic advantages. Traditional bombing raids required massive resources, fuel, personnel, expensive aircraft. By contrast, bat bombs could be produced at a fraction of the cost, with minimal human risk. Critical turning points arrived in early 1945. Classified testing demonstrated that trained bats could successfully carry and deploy incendiary packages with remarkable precision. One particular experiment involving 40 bats showed a 73% successful deployment rate, exceeding all previous projections. The project's ultimate fate hinged on a series of bureaucratic decisions. Military leadership debated the weapon's practical applications, weighing its innovative design against established bombing protocols. Some commanders remained skeptical, preferring traditional aerial bombardment methods. By August 1945, with the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the Bat Bomb project lost its strategic urgency. Massive resources were rapidly redirected toward nuclear weapons development. Project leaders were quietly reassigned, and most documentation was classified. Louis Fizer's team was dismantled, with researchers scattered across various military and academic institutions. The Bat Bomb became a forgotten footnote in World War II technological innovation. Decades would pass before fragments of the project would emerge in declassified military archives. The original research specimens, the trained bats, were humanely processed. Most were released into controlled wildlife environments, their remarkable training a secret known only to a handful of military scientists. The Bat Bomb represented more than a weapon. The project demonstrated how biological systems could be understood, manipulated, and potentially weaponized. Final project costs exceeded $2 million, equivalent to approximately $30 million in modern currency. No bat bomb was ever deployed in actual combat. The research, however, contributed significant knowledge to fields of animal behavior, thermal regulation, and biomechanical engineering. Subscribe if this story interested you and you want to hear more like it. The legacy of the bat bomb extended far beyond its immediate military context. Modern researchers have revisited the project, recognizing its innovative approach to problem-solving and technological adaptation. Eleanor Rodriguez, a contemporary military historian at Stanford University, has extensively studied the project's archival materials. Her research reveals that the bat bomb concept wasn't entirely abandoned, but transformed. Elements of the research influenced later developments in miniature drone technology and precision deployment strategies. Surviving team members rarely discussed the project. Louis Fizzer himself maintained strict silence about the bat bomb experiments until his death in 1977. Only through careful reconstruction of military records and personal correspondence have historians pieced together the complete narrative. Interestingly, the project's most significant impact was not military, but scientific. Subsequent ornithological and chiropteran studies directly benefited from the meticulous observations made during the bat bomb project. The specialized training techniques developed during the program became foundational in understanding how complex behavioral modifications could be implemented in animal subjects. Military and scientific communities recognized this as a breakthrough in interspecies communication and behavioral engineering. By the 1960s, most project documents were declassified, though significant portions remained redacted. The remaining team members had dispersed, with some continuing research in aerospace engineering, others in zoological studies. One unexpected outcome was increased public fascination with bat biology. Museums and wildlife conservation groups began highlighting bat intelligence and unique capabilities, partially inspired by the revelations of the bat bomb project. In 2015, a small memorial was established at Carlsbad Army Airfield, acknowledging the innovative spirit of the researchers who dared to imagine an entirely new approach to warfare. Today, the story serves as a remarkable reminder that innovation often emerges from the most unexpected places, even from the potential of a small, seemingly insignificant creature like the bat. The bat bomb remains a unique chapter in technological history, part military strategy, part scientific exploration, and entirely a reflection of human ingenuity during one of the world's most challenging periods. Subscribe if this story interested you and you want to hear more like it.